Hi, I'm Lacey. I live out of hotel rooms now. Dr. Fauci basically said that attacking him is attacking science, when literally he did not even conduct the scientific process when he was distributing American taxpayer funded dollars towards the Wuhan laboratory towards gain of function. Literally didn't do any sort of scientific process. That is really bad. That is really bad, Dr. Fauci. You should be ashamed of yourself. And people should be ashamed that our supposedly working government has gone so far to bring these types of people and put them in positions where they can have full control over where our taxpayer money is going, and they don't care. They're just like, oh yeah, give me the money, you fucking bureaucrat. Like, I don't care. Like, who cares where it came from? Just here, I find this interesting, even though it's basically psychologically fucked up. It could kill a lot of people. This is what I used to do when I was in the military. I was a chemical, biological, radionuclear specialist. I know it sounds so fancy-dancy, but a lot of it is just running over procedures and protocols and how to protect and prevent biological warfare, chemical warfare, and nuclear warfare. And also understand and conduct decontamination and operating procedures for hazardous materials, ticks and tims, toxic industrial chemicals, shit like that. I remember in 2015 when up in the North Midwest there and parts of Canada, there was the bird flu outbreak. This was purely strictly agricultural, but the National Guard was called in, and because the funding ran out to decontaminate some of these chicken farms, that basically what was happening is, because the chickens were so industrial agriculture for like poultry, the chickens are housed in these huge warehouses full of just hens laying eggs. It's constantly dark, so they lay more eggs. They're injected with a bunch of antibiotics and a bunch of hormones so that they produce more eggs. What happens is you'll get wild birds or swallows that will come in, and their immune systems are fine because they're regulated towards being outside in nature. The chickens, because they've never been outside, do not have that immunity and haven't been exposed to live in that type of environment, natural environment. They're genetically modified basically with all these like viral, antibiotic, and hormone shots to live and produce just in this warehouse. So these wild birds come in and infect them, and because they're in such shitty environments, all of them died within less than a week. All dead, millions of dead chickens, not to mention 2.1 billion eggs had to be completely they had to be dumped. Where the fuck was I getting at with this? Anyways, so yeah. Imagine that for a second. You get a bunch of chickens in a warehouse, all packed together in a cage. They're all been shot up and vaccinated, so to speak. But the wild birds that are free come in, and they don't really they're like, hey, what's going on, little chick birds? And they're not intentionally infecting them. It just so happened that the chickens that were in the warehouse were so very commonly associated with humans today, such in bad living environments, and because they've been shot up with all this fucking shit that doesn't make sense and is not natural to them, they died. The wild birds are fine, but the birds that were, exposed to human stupidity, they all died. All of them. Imagine thousands and thousands of dead chickens. Can you imagine the smell? No. So that's what I was taught to do. clean up this shit. And I get like people are like, why are you angry all the time? I know I'm angry all the time. And it's for solid fucking reasons, because I don't understand how there's so much stupidity and ignorance going on within the systems and the government systems that we function in, that it hits my heart, because this is the world that we're raising our kids in. And I mean, I love kids. I really do. I don't plan on having my own. I would rather adopt, and whatever. That's beside the point. But, do something about the fucking world. Don't leave this shit to your kids. Don't pick people like Fauci, who have been so fucking deluded into their ego that, we have a worldwide fucking pandemic that is fake. That was started or could have been highly prevented if we didn't have this sort of what should I call it? Orwellian reptilian thinking complex. Our complex, so to speak. People that are operating solely from the shadows of their mind, which is impossible, because if you really, really want to get into science, we are all light. How can you operate in the shadow cannot exist within light. On a physics level, we are light pieces of matter. We are light. So I don't know. I don't know. All I can say is shame on Dr. Fauci. I hope he gets put in jail, because that will lead to a series of people holding other people accountable, so that their actions, or for the next time anybody who wants to be in that sort of position, they will actually take into consideration the hard work and energy given to those people that, just do whatever the fuck they want with other people's money. So I hope this video brought some sort of enlightenment. If not, I'm sorry. I hope you have a good day. And I guess you have to laugh. You have to laugh at this point. We're still all okay. The system is what it is. It'll take care of itself eventually, because truth wins.